I got news for you. Confidence isn't something that you're born with. It's something that you build. Too many absolutely brilliant women hold themselves back because they don't feel ready to take action. But here's the problem. Confidence doesn't come from waiting. It comes from actually doing. In today's episode, we're going to break down the confidence formula, how to take bold action when you don't feel 100% ready. You're listening to The Next Step with Corrie Lo, where we transform overwhelm into confident action. I'm Corrie Lo, keynote speaker, coach, and working mama for here to help ambitious women just like you take the next step, whether that be leadership at work, at home, or in your community. Let's get started. I used to believe, like I'm sure many other people believe, that confidence is something you either have or you don't. I'd look at all of the successful people surrounding me, whether they be leaders or founders or entrepreneurs, and look at their confidence and think that they were just born like that. And what I learned along the ways is that it's not something that you're born with or inherit. It's something that you actually have to work at and build. Confidence is the result of taking repeated actions. It's not a prerequisite for taking action. There are so many reasons why folks do not feel confident. Number one, it comes down to fear of failure or even fear of rejection. How many people don't even get started because they're afraid of hearing the word no? The next one is perfectionism. You procrastinate to the point that you wait for things to be perfect. And then that way you will feel ready. At least that's what you might tell yourself. Lastly, is always compare yourself to other people who may or may not be more experienced and confident than you. Now, there's this misconception I come across as being very confident, and there is a certain surface level area of confidence that I've had my entire life kind of inherently. In fact, I remember somebody once called me awkwardly confident. And truth is, it really took me years of doing the following four things I'm going to share with you today on a repeated basis to get to the point where I am as confident as I am to do things like speak on stages, right? It's not something that happened overnight. It's not something I necessarily was born with. It's something I've had to work at. And here's exactly how you go about doing that. First is to start preconditioning yourself to take small intentional risks. Building confidence, it's like building a muscle. It takes small, consistent challenges to strengthen it. So choose one thing this week that makes you mildly uncomfortable that you've been pushing off forever due to fearing rejection or fearing that you're not ready or any of the three things that we had mentioned before. It could be anything. It could be speaking up in a meeting, or it could be trying something completely brand new. And I got news for you. You're going to fail. You're going to have people tell you no. You're going to have people tell you that you didn't perform up to par. You're going to not come up to even your own standards. There's going to be reasons why you don't accomplish what it is that you set out to accomplish. So next up, you need to reframe your failure as feedback. Instead, you're not failing, you're learning. Every setback is a learning opportunity. It is not at all in any way, shape, or form a reflection of your self worth. So remember that. That is so, so important. So instead of thinking, I failed, ask yourself, what did I learn? What am I going to do differently the next time I do this? The next thing you're going to do is act before you feel ready. It works in a cycle. So now that you've tested taking small intentional risks, you're going to do it on a regular basis and you're going to try to do things before you actually feel ready to do it. So remember, confidence doesn't come first. It comes as a result of the action that you're taking. The more you take action before you actually feel ready, the quicker the confidence actually comes. So make sure you're adopting a ready enough mindset. Done is better than perfect. If you wait until you feel fully prepared, you're never ever going to get started. Last, it's so, so important to make sure you set yourself up with support. Confidence can be contagious. So when you set yourself up and surround yourself with other people who are confident, especially in the areas you are looking to gain confidence in, the only way is up. So go out there, find a mentor that's knowledgeable on what you're looking to gain confidence in. And side note, if you are interested in finding a mentor but have absolutely no idea where to start, check out episode 7, where we covered that from cradle to grave. You could also join accountability groups or seek out a community or a professional networking group that challenges and encourages you. I'm telling you, just making sure that you are following those 4 key strategies, it will allow you to take the action that's truly necessary on a consistent basis to build your confidence to unthinkable levels. So, in summary, today we talked all about my confidence formula. We talked about why confidence is actually built through taking consistent action, as well as how to take those bold steps forward, regardless of your fears. So, your next step, choose one uncomfortable thing this week that you could start taking bold action on today. When you do, be sure to let me know what happens in the comments. Also, if the thought of doing any of the things that I am talking about in today's episode trigger you and make you feel even more overwhelmed, truth is your overwhelm culprit might be lack of confidence. You can find out for sure by taking my free overwhelm culprit quiz at www.corrielo.com/overwhelm culprits. And when you do, you'll be added to the Next Step newsletter where every single week you're going to learn different strategies, tools, tips like what we shared today to help you cure your confidence culprit for good. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Next Step with Corrie Lo. Remember, confidence is built through every single step, and you took that next step today. So I appreciate you being here. Next week, it's going to be a really powerful episode. It's about how to actually keep your momentum. In the past, we've talked about how to regain the momentum after you've lost it. Next week, we're going to be really covering how to maintain it on an ongoing basis. So if you've struggled with feeling overwhelmed and having any type of momentum at all, you're not going to want to miss it. So I'll see you there. Thanks for checking out The Next Step with Corrie Lo. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend, subscribe, and leave a review. Together, we'll transform overwhelm into action, and we'll keep taking the next step towards confident leadership. See you next time.